UvaldeRadio.net, getting ready for Friday Night Live, but we're doing it kind of a little earlier than usual because tonight's a very special edition of Friday Night Live. We've got our buddy, Bubba Westly. What's going on, baby?
What is up, man?
Man, thanks
for having me.
First of all, thanks for being a part of this thing. Things are a little changed up. Tonight is graduation for Uvalde High School. So congrats to all the class of 2024 seniors. Going to be a lot going on. Bubba, you might have a slow night tonight at first, but then everybody's going to converge upon Broadway 830 for some great pizza and drinks and live music. So that's going on tonight. And so we're doing the live broadcast of the graduation ceremony. So we figured we'd do a little tape delay and get this thing squared away so we don't have any technical issues tonight. But Bubba, man, we're looking forward to the show tonight. I know you are no stranger to Uvalde County. You are out of Brenham, right?
Yeah, Brenham, Texas.
So let's first of all tell me where exactly is Brenham. I don't think I've ever visited, and brag about your community for a minute.
So Brenham, Texas is right on 290, right between Houston and Austin. I mean, it's home of Bluebell ice cream.
Wow.
If you know what Bluebell.
That's where I've heard the name. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. You didn't get sick off that stuff a few years ago, did you?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I bet that was a blemish on that town's.
I
bet that was a blemish on that town's legacy for a minute, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, very cool, man. All right, so what else is great about Brenham? I mean, Bluebell. You had me at Bluebell ice cream, but keep on going.
So Brenham's just kind of one of those towns, man. It's small. It's kind of growing a little bit right now just because it's right between Houston and Austin, and some major, businesses are buying up some properties, so on the outskirts. It's growing, but maybe 10 minutes from a lake, so I love it over here. Right down the road from Lake Somerville, so that's my second home when I'm home and off.
Now, how long have you been in Brenham? Were you born and raised, or did you just end up there?
No, I grew up on the coast of Texas, a little small town called Bowling, Bolling, down by Matagorda Bay. But my wife dragged me up to Brenham about 5 years ago or so maybe 4 or 5 years now. But I enjoy it. I love Brenham. It's a great area up here.
She dragged you to the altar. Everything else was just easy peasy after that. So.
Oh yeah.
So hey, you did a song about your wife. So we'll get that on. Talk that about that a little bit later. But all right, man. So out of Brenham, and how long have you been doing music here, man? Because I know you're kind of all over the place musically.
Yeah. So this is my first album came out in April 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I had my first top 10 come off from that album. And, yeah, man, so I've been in it for 10 years. I kind of took a small hiatus when my son was born, and that was, 7 years ago, 5 years ago. So I took a small little hiatus, took a job in Dallas, enjoyed it, but music was just essentially was what I'm supposed to do. I wasn't behind a desk type of person.
Very good.
And so I went back to music, man, and then COVID hit immediately right after that, and so I had to take another small break like everybody else, and I say this is a third time's a charm. But I'm excited, man, because this year's have absolutely have nothing but growth this last year, and so things have been doing great. For me, and the song's been doing great. Fallen Stars are doing great. What we have on the radio, so we're seeing that success tie over to everybody coming to live shows too, and that's where it's at.
I tell you what, man,
for me.
It's a fantastic story. I mean, it's tenacity and it's stick-to-itiveness because, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's, once you get a certain age and you establish your relationship, as a husband and then a father, and then, of course, COVID, the world shuts down. There's lots of reasons to kind of shift gears or, like you said, settle into like a desk job. But to be able to say, this is what I do, I'm a musician. And to keep with it and to make it work for you and weather that storm and, see more success. That's fantastic, man. So we're excited that you're keeping on it. So let's go and talk about the early days, man. So as far as Bubba Westly, what are your influences, man? Did you come from a musical background? Did you were you the lone, kid interested in the family or tell us how it all started?
Oh man, my grandpa, I was raised by my grandparents, man. And my grandpa was a Tejano musician, and I didn't catch that bug. It just they spoke Spanish in the house, a little bit, but they never really were, deep into, speaking Spanish to me.
All right.
Or, having me kind of learn that way. But I enjoy Tejano music. I mean, I still do. That was something that was all the time. But went to college, played baseball, tore my knee pretty bad, and I had a guitar that my grandpa had got me and taught me a few chords on, and I decided I'm going to really dig into it now that I got some time to dig into playing guitar. And so I was a walk-on at, where I was at, and they just said, essentially after the surgery that my knee wasn't where they wanted it to be, couldn't pass fit. And there was a music school that I was looking at called SBC, South Plains College, out in Levelland, Texas. And there's a lot of other musicians that everybody knows that have gone to the school, like Bowen, Josh Abbott, just name a few. That it's just one of those schools that if you want to be a Texas country musician, it's kind of where you go. And went to school out there, and I never kind of looked back, man. Finished college and had a marketing degree and stuff, but music was where it's always been for me. I just got something about it that I never could leave.
Well, so obviously you got those Tejano roots from early on. As far as the current music that you're doing, would you say who would you say some of those influences are? Who were you jamming back in the day that kind of helped you craft your sound?
Oh man, I've always kind of been a songwriter fan. I love listening to the songwriters. Obviously Johnny Cash, Guy Clark. I love that type of stuff. But man, I guess when it comes to if you listen to what I really, really enjoyed, dude, I was a Stevie Ray fan for sure. I was Jimmy fan, Clapton, the Creedence Clearwater Revival. I loved all that kind of really rocky southern rocky blues stuff, and you definitely can hear kind of those influences and my music for sure tied in with like songwriter type stuff, because there's something about the Guy Clark writing, man, and the Johnny Cash type of writing that always just stuck with me. I've been a fan of that forever. I'm still a fan of singer-songwriters. Listening to a lot of different singer-songwriter music today. But I just try to incorporate that type of stuff in my music. And whatever feels good. I'm just one of those writers, too, that if it feels good, it's probably good.
Very good, man. Again, we got Bubba Westly on the phone. It's a special edition of Friday Night Live, doing an early one. We're going to replay tonight at a regular time. Again, the Uvalde High School class of 2024 graduation is tonight, but that means Friday Night Live still going tonight, 7 to 10 p.m., 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. Enjoy delicious artisan pizza, some great drink specials. We got $4 pints from 6 to 10 p.m., and Bubba Westly live performing on the stage at Broadway 830. Do not miss it. Bubba, you talked about songwriting. You've got a brand new song right now. It's called Falling Star, climbing up the Texas charts, and we're going to go and get that on so everybody knows kind of who we're talking to, in case they're just tuning in and they're like, Bubba Westly sounds familiar, but what song does he do? So we'll play your current single right now, come back out of it, and talk about the new song, and then we'll get some more information about you. So check it out, Bubba Westly, Falling Star on Friday Night Live. This is UvaldeRadio.net.
Girl, that diamond on your hand sure shines bright tonight under all these neon lights. You keep hinting he's out west in that Texas town, digging all the black gold from the ground. But maybe it's the whiskey, maybe it's the wine, but girl, I give in to you every single time. You're like a needle to the vein, driving me insane. You're like a line after midnight, straight to my brain. You're like a cold and stormy weather, but the sun won't make it all better. 'Cause we get high, we burn bright, we come down like a falling star. Girl, those tattoos on your arms don't cover up all your scars. In your heart, on your mind, from your past. I bet it's getting real lonely, waking up every Sunday morning, not knowing who or what you did the night before. Well, the sinner's gonna sing, and a player's gonna play. But girl, I give into you every single day. You're like a needle to the vein, driving me insane. You're like a line after midnight, straight to my brain. You're like a calm and stormy weather, but the sun won't make it all better. 'Cause we get high, we burn bright, we come down like a falling star. You lay in my bed like a woman. Oh, and you move like one, two. Girl, you got the heart of a child. I sure hate what your daddy, some little boy, done did to you. You're like a needle to the vein, driving me insane. You're like a line after midnight, straight to my brain. You're like a calm and stormy weather, but the sun don't make it all better. 'Cause we get high, we burn bright, we come down. We get high, we burn bright, we come down.
UvalleRadio.net special edition of Friday Night Live. Bubba Westly. The new track there is called Falling Star. And you can catch Bubba Westly tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. in the Broadway 830 Outdoor Courtyard, performing there at Broadway. And again, delicious pizza, some really great drink specials, and a good time with Bubba Westly. Okay, so the new song, man, Falling Star, it's doing real well on the Texas charts. Bubba, tell me about everything we need to know about the song Falling Star.
And the Falling Star, this was one that kind of wasn't supposed to go to radio, and then just as a writer, this was like exactly what we were talking about earlier. This was just that song for me that I felt like a lot of people needed to hear, you know. I just kind of wrote this song in one of those places. I've been sober now 3 years, be 3 years in July.
Congratulations.
And
That's awesome.
this song, thank you. And this song just kind of came about at one of those times that I just felt like, you know, you got to hit rock bottom. And that's just what it's about. It's like everybody's the same, though. We're all going to make mistakes. We're going to get high. We're going to burn bright and come right back down. And that's essentially what the song's talking about is no matter what mistakes you make in your life, you're going to find a way to get through it.
Wow, very
you
cool,
always
man.
find a way to get through it.
Great stuff. And as far as your songwriting process, is it pretty much just you, pen, and guitar? Do you have a songwriting team? What's your process normally when you're writing tunes?
My process, that's funny. My process usually comes with my wife coming out of the room and being like, "You're writing it wrong."
Oh.
I'm one of those. I like to write in my living room. I'll write in our guest room, and those are just usually my two spots for some reason where I usually write. And if I'm in the living room, I'm kind of semi close to our master bedroom, and my wife will come out, and she'll just usually be like, "Yeah, that sounds great," or "Hey, you're writing that wrong," or "You're too angry to write that right now." It's funny because she's always been such a great partner to have as far as like, "Hey, try this verse, try something a little different here." So I would say a lot of my few years, my wife has been a co-writer on, or you know, I know she got a co-write on, let's see, Trippy and My Everything, the song I wrote about her. She was came out and gave me a little bit of feeler about it. So it's kind of that songwriting process, man. It's funny because you can write one in the hotel room and then you get home and start singing it, and you finally got an ear that you trust to listen to it, you know, and I trust my wife to listen to what I'm writing and give me some pointers. So really, lately, I mean, I write with a lot of different people, but to be honest, if I'm home writing by myself, my wife's usually the co-writer on something.
Now, Bubba, is your wife a musician? Is she actually, does she do this herself too? Or is she just kind of like, you know, just from I guess every woman's perspective. Is that how she's helping out?
No, she's not musically inclined.
But she knows what she likes, and that's the important thing.
But she has a great ear, and it's so funny because I always talk about how I was like, man, you should have been a writer, because she would be a great writer. She reads constantly. If you ever see my wife, she has a book with her, so she's a very, very, very smart, very, very intelligent woman too, and something about the way we can process our different types of work together. Again, she's not a writer. She bartends and is almost done with her real estate school stuff, and she's just a very, very, very educated woman. So I enjoy it. I enjoy getting the feedback from her because I trust that. I trust in her, and I know that she knows exactly the type of writing that I enjoy and the type of writing that I like to, pursue, I guess, in my creativity, and she's always there to support it.
It's got to be so wonderful to have that support. Both, like, it sounds like you got a great marriage, a great partnership, but when they can be on board with your craft, your life, what you're trying to do and accomplish, and that's just, I imagine that just makes for such a happy arrangement and marriage. So again, we got Bubba Westly on the phone. Tonight is Friday Night Live featuring Bubba Westly in from Brenham here in Uvalde. We're going to talk more about specifics about tonight. But since we just gushed about your wife for a minute, let's go ahead and do that song called My Everything, Hannah's song. So obviously your wife's name is Hannah. Hi, Hannah. Shout out to Hannah real quick. But go and give us. I know you talked about the co-writing it with her. Give us a quick run on My Everything before we play it.
So I wanted to write a song to my wife to surprise her as our first dance at our wedding. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote the song, and I started just sharing it with people around me, and everybody was like, wow, dude, that's a great ballad. You need to release it to radio. And I was like, okay, well, I kept that thought in the back of our head when we got done. And then obviously we talked about a while ago, I cut all my stuff with Stormy Cooper out of Houston, and Stormy one day was like, hey, did you ever release that song? And I was like, I didn't. We were just waiting on everything that kind of happened and line up the wedding, and I didn't think anything further from it. And as a joke, my wife came, when she was walking down the aisle, the first thing she said to me at our wedding was, why do we have so many cameras? Well, my gift to my wife, my wedding gift to my wife was a music video of our wedding to this song. Well, she started sharing the music video with our friends, and everybody's like, this needs to be an actual music video.
Yeah.
So if you go to YouTube and you Google My Everything, you get to see our wedding, because that video ended up becoming the music video for the song.
Wow. That's awesome. You're a big old softy. You're such a romantic dude. Now I want to marry you.
I didn't intend for it to get out this way,
that's
to be honest
awesome
with you, but it did. So that's that. And we enjoy it, man. It's something that we get to share with everybody. So it kind of shows how the realness of my wife and I, and this totally captures both of our personalities and who we are. And the song, of course, is just my view of my wife and how I truly feel about her. And man, so it's great to kind of share that vulnerability as a writer and as an artist, and that point of creativity with everybody that enjoys your music. So if you want to see the type of writer that I am and the type of person that I am towards my life, you can go check out that music video on YouTube.
Absolutely, man. Again, this is Bubba Westly with My Everything, Hannah's song. This is Friday Night Live, and you're on UvaldeRadio.net.
They burn every night, like the buzz in that old neon sign. Don't ever turn them lights out. Your love chases the dark. You leave the sun shining in my heart. Every day feels like a new start. And I wanna know what you secret is. How could I ever deserve all this? If anything, you're my everything. I need you like the blood in my veins. I need you like the air I breathe, or the words I speak.
BubbaWestlyRadio.net Friday Night Live special edition, doing an early broadcast and then a late broadcast at a regular time of 6 o'clock as we prepare for Bubba Westly live at Broadway 830, 7 to 10 p.m. on the patio. Enjoy delicious artisan pizza. They have got some really great unique drink specials for the month of May. $4 pints from 6 to 10 p.m. on the patio only. And, of course, all kinds of desserts and pastas, just something for everyone. If you're planning to go to the class of 2024 Uvalde High School graduation, there's no better place for the after party than Broadway 830 with live music by Bubba Westly. We just played his new, one of his singles called My Everything, Hannah song that was written for his wife. Again, check out the video. Bubba, is that going to be on like YouTube, your website? What's the best place to find the videos and other streaming?
YouTube and TikTok, Facebook, excuse me. We have that shared across all those platforms,
awesome.
All the social media platforms.
So that's just Bubba Westly.
You search My Everything, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, Bubba Westly. It's Bubba Westly, Westly, and then type in My Everything on that. So, Bubba, let's go and talk about the band. I know you've got, I know you're doing a solo kind of acoustic thing tonight, but you've got a full-on functioning band. Let's talk about the guys that are, behind you on stage. Give me their names, what they do, and, just some general information. A shout out to the guys that are working with you.
Yeah, so we run pretty hot, I guess you would say. We stay pretty busy. So my guys are kind of all over. Just depends, where we're at, what shows we're playing. My drummer Corey's been with me for years. Corey Sanford, he's out of College Station. My TM, Aaron Gandy, he's been with me for probably 6 years now, 5-6 years. My mother-in-law runs some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, so she's on the road with us. Rose, she's out of Brenham. My team's also out of Brenham, Burton area. I'm out of Brenham. We kind of stay close. My guitar player, Chuck Costello, is out of Spring, and Harold Love's out of Galveston, and bass player Harold. And so we just, we're all kind of from the Houston area, man, and we've all done individual projects, as far as art, musically, with other people. And so these guys just kind of came together, enjoy what I do, and have been with me for a while now, and just enjoy making music and hitting the road. And it's all positivity, man.
That's awesome.
When you're on the road as much as we are, sometimes you just gotta make sure that everybody gets along with each other well.
So tell me about the Bubba Westly band. Oh, now what's you have? Your band has a name, right? What is that? You call them something. Isn't it Bubba Westly and the something or another, or is that an old thing?
Oh, that was okay. So that band, that was how I first started.
Oh, okay.
That was years ago. So that's on the early record. The first record I ever released, Roses, was Bubba Westly and Interstate Heartbreak.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool name. That's cool. Yeah.
So I just kind of started, playing music with those guys, and they. Oh, as a matter of fact, there was, I don't know if you remember the Bass Shop Fires that happened years ago, but that was, they kind of, I met them dudes there at the Bass Shop Fires, and they were singing with another guy, and I don't know, he just didn't want to do music anymore, and they called me up and said if I wanted a band, years later, and I said sure. So
nice.
we started this band, and then like a few years after we started playing music together, everybody thought we were sounded pretty good, and we decided to cut a record, and that's where the Roses record and my career started.
Very good.
So, but I started with those guys. I still write with one of them, the bass player,
oh, cool.
The guy that wrote Roses, which was my biggest hit. Him and I have been writing and been friends for, probably 12 years, 13 years now, maybe even longer.
Very good.
And but we just kind of kept up with each other, and a lot of the, like everything else, everybody kind of gets older and then grows apart. Either you really want to do music and follow that as your passion. I don't know, I always tell everybody, when you're young and you start getting in this industry, in your early 20s, and you start growing, the older you get, the more hobbyists you find. What I mean by that is you find out which guys are really into it for the music and which guys are just in it for the money.
Right, yeah.
And that's just kind of the way this whole industry goes, like any other industry, man. So definitely good to see a group of guys that enjoyed the music, though.
Now, as far as the current band goes, for those who have not seen... For those who have not seen the full live Bubba Westly band in its current state, just give me a little description of what to expect at a full Bubba Westly concert.
We are a little more on the rock side of country. However, I keep things very light and energetic. Where you can bring your full kids we play our 21 and up. But I always tell everybody when we play fairs and festivals, man, we create a set that's family friendly. There's nothing vulgar in our shows, man. We enjoy the crowd. We enjoy getting everybody in it. It's a very high energy, enthusiastic show, so be ready for that.
You know, it's interesting that you even have to say these days that you're family friendly, because that used to kind of be a given, you know, that everybody kind of just, kept it proper. But man, things are different now, man. The things that people get away with saying, I'm just like, wow, really? This is a mixed company. But it's good to hear that, man. All right, so Bubba, I know the first single that we played here on UValleyRadio.net from you is a song called Trippy, which we're going to play here in just a moment. But first of all, before we get too far into things, I want to say the very first time I came across you was you were doing a show out in Campwood. So you've got some friends and family out in this area, right? Give me your Campwood.
Out in Campwood.
Yeah, give me your link to those people out there.
Okay, so I grew up in small town Bowling, Texas, and some friends of mine grew up in Sweeney, Texas, and they got some property with some out in Campwood, and they met a guy. They moved out there, and then they met a few people that live out in Campwood, and they were looking for they booked some events out over there, the Hunters Roundup and everything, and they all tied us together, and man, I met CG and his family, and we just kind of clicked. I mean, we just kind of clicked as like my kind of people,
Yeah.
Had a good time, and we enjoy hunting, obviously. I enjoy hunting. I mean, my wife was not a hunter, so it was kind of funny. This last deer season, we went out there, and she shot her first deer, and I just kind of was not expecting her to enjoy it.
Wow.
Now she's like, so deer season's only one season a year, and I was like, yep, we can only go once a year. So she's enjoyed the whole deer hunting thing and the whole scene. I mean, everything about where we go in Campwood is just gorgeous. We love it out there.
Hey, now you brought up CG. You brought up CG earlier.
Right.
He's a kind of a staple, one of the big fish in Campwood. If I'm not mistaken, you're part of a benefit that is for his family. There was a big fire out there. And do you have details on that gig? I know it's going to be at the Civic Center here in town pretty soon.
Yeah, so CG's parents, I believe, lost their home to a fire. And so they called me and asked if I would be interested in coming to help out. And of course, man, I love those guys. And so it's going to be on Sunday, May the 26th at the Civic Center in Uvalde. And they're going to have a crawfish boil from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's $20 per person, per pound, or all you can eat for $40.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're also going to have barbecue chicken at $10 a plate, silent auction, and then, of course, me, I go on at 7 o'clock that night. So it's definitely to all the friends, family, all the kids out there, man, bring your kids. $40 all you can eat crawfish these days.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a freaking steal,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Then you get to hang out with me too. So
That's the real gold mine right there. Okay, again, so it's going to be on. You said May 26th. So that's coming up pretty soon. It should be a great benefit for a good family.
Sunday this month.
All right, so very cool. Again, Bubba Westly's on the phone here. Tonight's Friday Night Live, Broadway 830, 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. If you're listening in Uvalde proper, you know the place, so just come on down. And if you're in the surrounding areas, you've got time to make it on out tonight. So we're going to go do the song Trippy, which is the first song we played on UvaldeRadio.net. We'll come back, we'll wrap it up, and you tell us a little bit about Trippy and then your future plans. But y'all check it out. This is Bubba Westly, song called Trippy. This is Friday Night Live on UvaldeRadio.net.
People think they woke because they flow with the trends. They put their politicians first before God and their families. Man, this world is trippy. Yeah, this world is trippy. The government corruption got me sick. They use their lies to feed their greed. But I ain't one born to take that pill that Uncle Sam says we all need. They all sit high on that hill, pulling their puppet by his strings. This world is tripping. For change, but in welfare I have no hope. Addicts, liars, and thieves get it all instead of those who need it most. And this world is tripping. This world is trippy. Martial law, I hear you knocking. I dare you to try to take my guns. You'll start a war in these streets. I'll be KIA before I fall down to my knees. They all sit high on that hill, pulling their puppet by his strings. This world is tripping. Yeah, the world is tripping. Oh, this world is tripping. Yeah, the world is tripping. And the world is tripping.
UValleyRadio.net. It's Friday Night Live. That song is Trippy, and it's Bubba Westly. He's on the phone right now. Welcome back, Bubba. Appreciate you hanging out with me, man.
What's up? What's up?
Man, so
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
yeah, special edition of Friday Night Live, kind of doing it with a kind of a tape delay kind of thing because the Uvalde High School graduation is tonight. UvaldeRadio.net will broadcast it live tonight starting at 7. So this is a pre-taped version of Friday Night normally live, but we appreciate you rolling what we got going on tonight. The show will go on. Friday Night Live is 7 to 10 p.m. with Bubba Westly performing on the patio. Like I said before, great food and some great drinks, so bring everybody out tonight. Man, that song's trippy, dude. I'm telling you what, I love that song. I'm a new fan, so obviously I'm more familiar with your new stuff. So far, my favorite, just it's so honest and real, and you're saying things that really aren't so popular to say these days. Tell me all about Trippy, man.
Trippy is one that I wrote with my wife. I love to start off with that because her and I, to be honest with you, man, don't see eye to eye. And this song wasn't meant to be political. It was just meant to be the truth. Mm-hmm. And her and I don't see eye to eye on politics, and that's totally fine. And we still love each other through it all. And I wish a lot of other people could see the example of the life we live, through that way. Because to be honest with you, every time it gets down to what we believe in, we just don't try to force each other's ideas at each other. Mm-hmm. We don't try to throw each other's ideas upon each other either. And so when we sat down and I started writing the song, she came out of the room and she was like, "You're writing too angry." She She's like, you're writing that song and you're saying all the right things, but you're saying them in a way that people aren't going to want to listen to. I said, all right, well, what do you got? So we sat down and we started writing, and we came through the second verse that says, I've been praying for a change, but in this country's welfare, I have no hope. And she was like, this is how you write it. This is how you say this nicely. And I was just like, well, okay, I see what you did. You know, all right, I see what you did. And then now my wife's an expert songwriter. No, I'm just kidding. No, she came out, and you know, she really helped me out with the song, because this is what I wanted to say. How do I say it in the way that I think people will hear better, listen to what I have to say better? And man, she nailed that one on the head. And you know, my favorite verse in that song is, martial law, hear you knocking, I dare you to try to come take these guns, you know? And when it gets into that type of writing, man, you got to make sure that you're relating it to the people in the right way, because as soon as you say something that's on a different belief of somebody, man, they try to take, that's the first way somebody takes something offensive.
Sure, yeah.
You know, whether you're trying to be that way or not. And so I needed to make sure that the song was written in a way that everybody could take it and want to take it and listen to it and go, okay, I understand what you're saying, whether they agree with me or not. Because I didn't write this song for everybody to agree with me, and I didn't write this song for everybody to disagree with me. I just wrote it away for that somebody needed to listen. Hey, man, if you had your issues that might be line up with the issues that I have with the world today, here's what I have to say as a creative writer, you know. And like I said, I've been to shows where people like don't agree with what I have to say, and that's fine. I have no problem with that, because that's the reason we're a democracy, because you get your own opinion. I get my own opinion.
Amen, man. Yeah, keeping it real, man.
That's the way I like to explain it to people. And so that was one that, man, it really, really hit home. I've been doing a ton of veteran stuff, and I love it, man. My family, I come from a family of a lot of military background, and so when all these veteran organizations started reaching out to me, they were like, hey, we love this song Trippy. Can we use it on our podcast? Can we use it here? Can we? Absolutely, man. Go ahead. I mean, it's the least I could do for guys that sacrifice their life for my freedom, you know. Absolutely. You know, let me know what else I can do to help y'all guys out.
Well, it is a great song, man.
I've been really involved with the veteran organizations, and it's been a good time.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, Bubba Westly's here. The show is tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. Broadway through. We talked all about that, so you guys know where to go tonight to catch Bubba Westly live. But, Bubba, yeah, I know you talked about the band. You guys are on fire, hitting the road all the place. Give me some highlights of some other cool shows, gigs. I know you got festivals on the docket. Brag about, you know, some of the cool places people can catch you this summer.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we got Sea Liberation coming up. We got Port O'Connor Festival next Saturday. Next Sunday, we're in Uvalde. So Port O'Connor, it's like a beach town on the coast of Texas, man. They do their Memorial Day Festival every year. We're headlining that on the last Saturday this month, next week Saturday, July the 6th. I get to play a show in my hometown, Bowling, Texas, which it's a tiny town, but that's going to be a good time. Sea Liberation in Sealy, Texas on July the 12th. That'll be great. I don't know who the headliner is yet, but I know we're on that bill with somebody. So that should be a good time. Last year, we were on that same bill with Corey Morrow, so that was a great night.
Cool.
Corey was awesome. This year we did, you know, the Hideout after Jelly Roll at Houston Rodeo. So, man, we got some great stuff coming up. We did some great stuff this year, so we're just continuing to grow, man, and just build that brand amongst the fans here in Texas music.
Fantastic, man. All right, so where can we find, I know the website's just BubbaWestly.com, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so BubbaWestly.com for concert dates, your music streaming videos. Check out that, you know, that video we were talking about earlier. Any other big news coming down the line as far as, you know, recordings, new albums, getting back to the studio? Well, any other cool news to announce?
Oh, yeah, man. We're heading back to the studio next week, Monday.
Wow.
And I've been in the studio quite a bit because I've been cutting some other tracks with some other Texas musicians. So there's some stuff that could be coming from that. Also, I got a cut coming out here this summertime. I wanted to release a feel-good summertime song too, so be sure to be on the lookout for that one. Probably maybe late June, early July, we'll probably get to that one, depending on how well Falling Star continues to do. on the charts. So we're riding that success that we're seeing from that, hopefully to the top. But if it does start to slow down, then we're gonna have something ready to release, and it's called "Feels So Good," and it's just a song. It's a feel good song, man. Just about finding a woman at a dance hall and having a good time in the summertime. That's exactly why I wrote it, because I wanted to write a feel good summertime song, and that's exactly what it is, a feel good summertime song.
Oh, man, sounds good. Can't wait to get that one on, too, man. Well, Bubba, it's been really awesome catching up with you and getting to know you, and we're looking forward again to the show tonight. And if you can't make it out tonight, don't forget, next Sunday at the Uvalde Civic Center, there's going to be a big fundraiser out there. Bubba's playing 7 p.m. That's going to be inside the Civic Center, right? If I'm not mistaken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so again, details, BubbaWestly.com for everything. And we'll see you tonight, man. Thank you so much for your time, Bubba. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Right on. Okay, that's going to wrap it up here. Friday Night Live with Bubba Westly. Y'all come out tonight to Broadway. This is UvaldeRadio.net, now resuming regular programming.